I think my sister introduced me to the band, and I was literally just obsessed, and I was like, oh my God, his voice is just so, I don't know, it is so like, it sounds like it's in a church or something, doesn't it? So
there's a lot of religious themes going on here. Welcome back to the Scratch Record podcast. We are joined today by an incredible guest, as I say every time, but this one is very, very special. I have to admit, it's one of the favorite ones we found over the last year. Joe stuck her in the playlist, and I kind of caught onto it so sharp because I'd been looking for some music that was like that week, and it kind of felt like the one I needed. And she's got a whopping 1.7 million listens in 2020. She's been in the Dork magazine hype list for 2021. She's also featured on Radio 1. She creates some incredible tunes with her new single, True Romance. We have Abbie Ozard. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. Yeah, all's chilling. All is very, very good here.
Beautiful. Before we go much further, did Elliot just say your name right then? Because I was thinking that's what we've always said, but is it right?
What did you say?
Abbie Ozard.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I think, but I don't know. Everyone says Ozard, but I think my parents said it's Ozard, but I don't know. Like
Ozard.
Oh, interesting.
Abbie Ozard sounds so sick as well. It sounds like a. But isn't there like a program on Amazon or something that's like that?
Ozark.
Is it called Ozark?
That's Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I think it is Ozard, but it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna...
Ozard.
Okay, cool. I was thinking this early because we get in this sort of rhythm of just saying it how we assume, and then people come on and like, that's not how you say it. Not direct shots at you, Conversets, what your name is, but
yeah.
Some people come in and they're like, oh, and I'm like, fuck. So I thought we'd check. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Well, we've started the more traditionally going into like classic questions to start with to give everyone a bit of a feel for who you are. So I guess we wanted to take it back like as early as possible and ask you like whether music's been a big thing for you from like childhood and then how it sort of developed up until you sort of released some music.
Yeah, like when I was little, it was always like like classical kind of music. Like, you know, when your parents like make you go for piano lessons and stuff. I started doing violin when I was little, and I was fucking awful. Like, I was so bad, and like my parents were like, I cannot listen to you practice.
Oh no.
So I was like, all right, like I'll switch to piano because, you know, piano is nice. So I started playing piano and then just singing and stuff from there. And I joined. This is so embarrassing. I joined like a cathedral choir.
Cathedral choir.
Wow.
So it's like oh god. And I just kept doing that, and then I don't know. I guess I grew up and kind of went out of. Just thought it wasn't very cool anymore, and
what? It's so cool.
It's the coolest thing.
My friends used to just piss about in like all the rehearsals and stuff, and we just used to get told off all the time. So I was like badass choir girl.
Yeah.
You have to wear the long gown, like proper gown and that.
Yeah, like
brilliant.
I know, it's a bit intense. It was a bit intense, and then so yeah, I don't know. I just guess I started growing my own music taste and listening to loads of different artists, like you know, it was mainly indie folk, that kind of vibe, and then I just picked a guitar and just started learning guitar by myself and just started writing from there. Really, I think I was like, I was pretty old when I wrote my first song. I think it was like 14 or something. So it was it was all pretty classical until then, and then I was like, fuck this is.
I'd done a rebellious teenage phase and just went, fuck the cathedral. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, fuck the cathedral.
There's a name for an EP. Fuck the cathedral.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or a band like that. Yeah, it sounds like a good band name.
That is good.
Yeah, you've got to touch on some very pressing topics to be called something like that, haven't you?
Yeah, very true, yeah. And it just stemmed from there, really. And then I just started writing and trying to do garage band.
Do you remember, was there like a specific like musician that kind of changed your like almost tunnel vision from like this cathedral choir, classical piano and stuff like that, and then like opened your eyes to like a wider horizon?
Yeah, I definitely think Justin Vernon, Bon Iver, I don't know. What you think. I think he's got like quite a lot of like choral kind of elements in his music anyway. So I think my sister introduced me to the band, and I was literally just obsessed, and I was like, oh my God, his voice is just so, I don't know, it is so like, it sounds like it's in a church or something, doesn't it? So
there's a lot of religious themes going on here.
Religious, I don't know. But yeah, and I think him, and then I remember getting really into like Wolf Alice and bands like that, and like the classic when you're like
Classics.
15, like Arctic Monkeys and that kind of band, and then like Dad is a massive Bowie fan, so
nice, yeah,
Bowie and like The Cure and Blondie and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it was a massive mixture of things. It was like when I first got Spotify. Like when it first came about, I was just making like loads of different playlists and getting into loads of different artists, like Bombay Bicycle Club as well. Like that Floors album. Yeah, that I was obsessed with that as well. So yeah, loads of different artists.
When you kind of like then started picking up the guitar and like, because I'm interested because you've gone from this choir girl.
We're gonna need like a choir counter now. How many times you say choir
in the corner? Yeah. Just gonna have a cathedral outline. I'm just gonna have a little number underneath it ticking along. But you kind of developed from this like almost like pure soul of music to almost this. Now what you're creating is more rugged rock and roll style. When you started like recording music, what was the first thing you kind of released and you thought, this needs to get out to the people because it's so different to everything I've ever kind of done, and now I'm producing something so brilliant? I think a lot of the stuff before I was recording was just kind of folky, kind of stuff that like covers and stuff like that. But I started getting into like like Mazzy Star and kind of dark synth pop, I guess. Not, I don't know. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. And I know I started writing like kind of darky kind of synth music, and from there I released Average Disguise, which was like my first single. I hate it now. I literally hate it so much. Really? Yeah, I hate it.
We get that so much now that like as artists are developing, like we're like, I love that earlier track of yours, and they're like, no, it's horrible.
Yeah, I hate it. And then there was another track as well called Gone, which I released and then deleted it. I just panicked, so I was like, delete, yeah. So I was just releasing these songs just through like online distributors, that kind of thing, just by myself. And then I think there was like a songwriting competition in Nantwich where I live, like this, I don't know if you've heard of it.
Where was it?
In Cheshire. It's like, I don't know, no one really knows. It's just like a small town.
Okay, nice.
A songwriting competition, and if you won it, you got to like go to the studio and like record a song. So I did. Yeah, so I did that, and then got to record Average Disguise like in a studio. So I was like, ooh, studio.
Big time.
Yeah, and then it all stemmed from there really, and then I kind of went off that genre a bit. I guess the stuff that I was listening to grew, and then I grew with it really. So yeah, I don't know if I'll dip back into that kind of genre. Who knows?
A bit of folk music, that'd be a nice twist, wouldn't
it? Yeah.
Cool. So to get like a sense of the timeline, we were having a little stalk through to try and get an understanding as we normally do.
Yeah.
So you went off to uni, did you? Was that in Manchester?
Yeah. So I went to BIM in Manchester.
Sick.
Yeah.
So then did that help sort of influence you? And were you releasing music at that time, or did it come like afterwards?
Yeah, so it did really. I was doing a songwriting course, and I don't know, it was a bit shit. Like I don't think you can really teach songwriting, like and all the stuff that I was doing, I don't know, like depending on like the the lecturer that was like grading it or whatever, it's like so up to taste, isn't it? Like so, I don't know, I've forgotten.
Subjective.
Subjective, that's the word. And I felt like my confidence was getting knocked because I'd write a song and I'd be really happy with it, and then I'd get like a 2-2 and I'd be like, fuck's sake, like whatever. But the good thing about BIM was I think everyone else was doing music as well. So like if you needed a guitarist, like it was so easy, or if you needed like a drummer, it was just your mate. So from there, I had my band, and I like looked for a drummer and found Luke on Facebook. I think he was in my year, but he was on the drumming course, so I never saw him. And then he's still my drummer now. And then Jack, who I live with, is my guitarist. And yeah, and then we just used to jam and like every week and just have a good time. And then I think from growing a band, what I wanted to release grew to be different, because I wanted for it to suit live shows and be fun to play live, and create like a whole kind of vibe and stuff. So yeah, it was really good in that way. So yeah, just meeting like-minded people.
Cool. So you have this band. Has that been like set in stone members now? And then was it a conscious decision to make it still Abbie Ozard and not like a band name, if you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think everyone was kind of doing their own projects as well. Like my housemate Jack, who still plays guitar now, he was doing his own stuff, and everyone was in kind of different bands. So I just thought I'd keep it just me at the front.
Yeah.
Just so I could boss everyone around. No, I'm joking.
You're not joking.
I'm not joking. And just I was just writing the songs, and I'd write the songs and then bring them to them and do it that way, and it just kind of worked. And yeah, they've all stuck around. So yeah, this is still the same, but we've literally not been able to practice for like, it's literally coming up a year now.
Oh my god,
that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I know, because we're all from different areas as well. So like, and people are living with their like parents and stuff, so that's saying you feel bad, but yeah, it's so shit. So I feel like I've gone solo again now, but
yeah,
definitely when I've got like a practice room when we can, and we'll be back in the game.
Back at it. Do you remember what your first gig was like with that lot?
Yeah, so at the start it was just me, Jack and Connor, and Jack and Connor used to play guitar, and then I used to play guitar. So it was a really, really random setup. It was like three of us just playing guitar, like
well, can you show us again?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
So we used to just do like support gigs every week and do it from there. And then I can't remember what was our first gig. I think it was supporting a band called Colouring. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're really good actually. And there was like loads of really random, like different bands that we got to support at different venues in Manchester, and it's really cool because I felt like I was in there like meeting people and in the scene and doing all that kind of stuff. And I think the first full gig as a full band I put on like my own headline show, and in I forgot what the venue was called. I can't remember. It was like a little pub in Manchester. So we put on like a little show, and that was our first gig.
Sick.
What was that like for you? Like pulling it back, was that quite nerve-wracking? Were you shitting yourself before going on stage, or did you kind of like?
No, I fully was. Yeah, like I wouldn't say I was. I think being a confident performer is taking a lot of time. I think my first time I was just like, my face was like bright red, and I was like, oh my god, like, get me out. But then after a while, you just kind of think, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. Like I don't even care. Like if I go wrong or whatever, I'm just gonna have the time. And that's how it was anyway before there was no gigs.
Yeah.
Hopefully the confidence will still be there. I don't know.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, it's just fun. So yeah.
I was looking through like some of the gigs you have done, and it did seem like you'd played like everywhere in Manchester, and some really sick venues. So do you have like a particular highlight or favourite venue to play?
Yeah, I reckon Deaf Institute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Deaf Institute. I don't know. I think it's like the glitter ball in the middle. I'm just like, we played there last January, supporting Lauren Hibbard, and like because I was in Manchester, all my friends came and stuff like that. And then there was these like 3 girls at the front who I didn't know. They were like just young girls, and they were like singing along. And I was like, oh no way! Like, you know, you see the Spotify streams, but you don't actually think that people
are
numbers, isn't it? And I was like, oh shit, like this is so nice. And yeah, it was lovely. And they threw like a they threw like a massive gay pride flag at my bassist. He's like he's quite like a masculine guy. Like he was like this is a gay pride flag.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, definitely Deaf Institute.
That's cool. Because it always seems like it's a bit of a like set path through Manchester of some of the venues, and it seemed like you was before COVID like flying through them, because sort of played like the Yes Basement, which is a sick venue but smaller.
Yeah, I love Yes.
And then like Deaf Institute, and then Gorilla, and then it's like it had gone up through that. So were you thinking it was like on that trajectory?
Yeah, I think it kind of grows, isn't it? Like you start off at the small pubs, and then you kind of go on to, you know, like the other venues, and then Gorilla, and then stuff. So yeah, and I think Yes as well. Like that's one of my favorite venues to play as well, because it's, I don't know, I love Yes. Oh my god, I miss Yes so much.
I miss Yes. Yeah, I went to uni in Manchester as well and just got obsessed. But I only discovered Yes in the last probably 3rd year, and then we'd started going all the time, and I was like, this place is amazing. And then obviously COVID hit, and I was like, I feel like we didn't appreciate that place enough like first 2 years, but it's a really cool place.
It's so good, and you can eat loads of pizza as well.
Yeah,
not overpriced. Like it's just
so
fun. Yeah,
perfect.
I think the Pink Room as well will always be somewhere where hopefully post COVID I'll be able to play there. It's just like a room full of pink. That's my dream.
Yeah, it's
that's so cool. That is brilliant. Did you have any gigs that kind of went a bit tits up? They go a bit paired. Is there any like, because we always get stories like we did this one with City Lights, and they're saying they got too pissed up, or who was the one last? Cosmonauts. That was it. Yeah, their lead singer got so wankered that he like couldn't sing the songs. Like he was like. Do you have any like horrendous stories from like this time where you were playing?
Do you know what? I don't know, because I'd always, I know this sounds like so like goody, but I was always like making sure everyone was in check. So I was like,
the sergeant.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I don't know. I always forget stuff. Like I'm literally like the most forgetful person ever, and I literally always have to be like, "Hi, can I borrow your amp?" Like, how can you forget an amp? Like I'm such a dickhead. But, yeah, just forgetting stuff.
There.
I get.
Do you feel any extra pressure because it's like your name on it? So like if you forget, if something goes wrong and like you're too pissed, it's almost like everyone knows who you are already. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't hide behind a band name. It's just like, oh shit, it's my name there.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I think drinking before gigs, it's like it's something that is kind of necessary.
Yeah,
like it's there, isn't it? Like it's on the rider. I think when we were on tour, I always made sure I had no more than 2.
Nice.
Like, at the moment, like I've literally got no control over like my alcohol consumption.
This has become an intervention all of a sudden.
Like I'm not a massive drinker, but like when I do, I'm like I just when I was like, I was fine. Like I was really in control, but now like I'm just there's just
no stopping you.
Literally not. I think it's because it's lockdown and you pour your own drinks, don't you? And then you know you're like
a little bit extra, and
yeah.
But yeah, I'd always make sure like 2 beers before a show, like, and then after, you know, we can have a good time.
You can do what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, it makes my I don't know, it makes me like gargle. Like I can't burp. Like it's really weird. I can't burp, so I can't. Like, I create.
It makes you gargle.
It's like this like really weird noise. I can't explain.
Oh, you know, we got like a frog in your throat type thing. It makes that like I know the noise you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happens. So yeah, self-control.
Self-control is the way to go.
Control, kids. Watch what you drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sick. So you've done some pretty big supports as well, from what we can gather. Have you got like a particular favorite from like a support gig or favorite person to support or anything like that?
I think I loved supporting Zuzu. That was well fun. She's so lovely, and it was nice having like all the bands that I have supported have all been girls as well. Apart from When Young, obviously they've got the backing, the drummer and the guitarist boys, but Aoife's like a girl. It's nice to be on tour with girls because like you can be like, what are you wearing? And like when the boys don't care, they're just like t-shirt, jeans, whatever. So I don't know. All of them have been really, really fun. It seems like so long ago. It's like I'm dusting away the cobwebs in my brain doing
this.
Well, yeah, all of them have been sick as well, and I miss it.
I bet.
You had a lot of festivals booked, didn't you, last year?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, like, what was your reaction when you like got booked for like Live at Leeds and some of them festivals? Because that's mega. Like Live at Leeds is a proper festival. Like it's a sick one.
Yeah, it was mad. I didn't try and think about it too much. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And like I was kind of stressed. I was like, shit, like I've got such a busy summer, but it's gonna be so good. And and then I guess it all just got cancelled. So I mean, not ideal.
No.
But no, it's mad. It is mad. Like I didn't really think, it was kind of just a hobby, but I didn't know what else I'd really do with my life.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So like music is kind of like the only option, I reckon. But it's just really nice to know that I guess people are listening and want to see the shows and stuff. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to be. I think like a lot of people were like, "Oh, what are you going to do if this goes tits up? Like, what are you going to do if this fails?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to give it an option to fail. Like, what? Why give yourself this? Give yourself a bit of a safety net that you've got something else to rely on, but don't be like backing yourself up completely, or else you're not going to take a big enough leap to be able to make it work in the way that you want it to."
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm always going to be releasing music whether people listen to it or not.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna stop just because of whatever. So I think that if you just go in head to like dive in.
Right, you have to be on the YouTube at the moment because there's been a lot of good gestures from Abbie. If you're missing them on the Spotify, you're missing out because they've been unreal.
I'll literally always be doing it. People can listen to it whether they like it or not.
I like that. So putting it back to like lockdown itself, because I think looking over it, like some of the bigger releases have been your 2020 releases.
Yeah.
And you were quite consistent at like putting them throughout the year and being really good at it. So did it change your plans with releases? And then were you starting to catch on that like the radios are loving it, Spotify are loving it, and be like, right, I can really have confidence for these releases now?
Yeah, I think, well, I was basically like, oh my God, like how's it going to work? I had a few songs in the pipeline, like demos and stuff. But I think the first release that was like a lockdown thing was TV Queen. Crocodile Tears. Yeah, that was in a studio. And me and Rich did it on FaceTime because we were like, let's give this like Zoom/FaceTime thing a bit of a whirl. Like I don't know, the thought of writing on Zoom with is just a bit bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Because me and Rich had written together like loads before, it was just chill. So we wrote TV Queen, and we just like were bouncing the stems back and forth, and like I added some bits, some synths and vocals, and we just kept going, and then it was just like a song, and I was like, oh shit, I love this song.
That's sick.
Yeah, and so we just decided to release it, and then like the cover and stuff was just in my bedroom. Like my cousin helped me do it, and my boyfriend. The room was like, my mum was getting really stressed. Like there was just shit everywhere because I wanted to make it like like a cover, like lived in with all like bits from the song in the cover. So I think without that lockdown happening, that first one, I don't think I would have created what I have done. So in that way, it was really cool. And then video as well, like, you know, I had this big video in mind, you know, like with loads of people involved, but it was just me and my mate Shaz that did it. She's got like a tomato farm, and she's got like loads of derelict caravans, like in the farm, like about.
Of course she does.
Yeah. So we filmed it in like a caravan, and it was literally just us two. So we had just a really good time. I think it's my favourite video that I've done yet, really, the TV Queen one. Without that happening, then it was literally just us two filming it. So I think without lockdown happening, we wouldn't have created what we did.
Yeah, I get that. And it seems to, like, I don't know, you seem to have gone to like another level with those lockdown releases. So have you noticed that? Has it been a big jump, or were you sort of pretty steady and it's just kept going?
I think it's been, I don't know, with TV Queen, I think I did Pink Sky, and that was my favourite. And then I did Crocodile Tears, and then thought, I'll release TV Queen, you know, just see how it goes. And like I kept checking like the stats on the Spotify app, and I was like, how? And it says like how many people are listening to you right now. Like, it's really weird. And like it just kept jumping up and up every day. And my dad was like, how many streamers are you on? 7,000. He was like, bloody hell.
Bloody hell. I like that.
So every day it just kept going more and more. And I was like, what the hell? It's really weird. So I guess that was a bit of a jump. So it's really cool to see.
It's really cool.
Did you find that, because I found the lockdowns have almost like benefited me creatively, because I feel like this enclosed space allows you to almost like, I'm going to use the word delusional, but I don't mean delusional. So, you know, when you get caught on an idea and it all seems so perfect and possible, and you're in a safe space that you could kind of like completely run it and plan it out to so much, because you're on your own, you can make everything and plan it to a T and then figure out whether it works or not. You get that almost in that mind space of it being so progressive through the creative experience. Have you had a similar sort of experience with lockdown?
Yeah, I think it definitely comes in phases for me. Like, you know, there'd be a couple of weeks where I'm just not feeling that creative at all, and you know, I'm getting stressed out because I'm seeing all these people like, you know, feeling super, super creative on like social media and stuff. And then I have like a few weeks where I'm like creating loads of stuff. So it comes in waves really. And I think having that one space, like just this room, it does help, because it helps you just like channel everything. I don't know, and focus on, you know, what you're actually doing. I guess it's more of like a forced progression rather than like a natural progression. You know, like if you are out and about, you'd just be progressing naturally, wouldn't you? But this is like, okay, like, what am I doing next? Like, you know, you've got time to think about it, haven't you? And everything is just online. So I think, you know, you have to make the time to, you know, do stuff like this, and, you know, Instagram videos and bloody TikTok.
Bloody TikTok. Oh my God.
And stuff like this, because, you know, you've really got no other option. You've got to keep, you know, pushing on and showcasing yourself. So, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, like just being in your house. Like, I don't hate it. I know that sounds really bad. No. But yeah, I think with creativity, like it's helpful. I like keeping like a nice space as well. Like if my room's like dead messy, like I'm quite a messy person naturally, but if it's really messy, I can't like focus on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So
I just end up procrastinating and tidying it to like within an inch of its life and not doing what I needed to do.
Yeah, become like this like middle-aged woman that's like dead into cleaning. So like, you know, it's just nice like keeping it, and like I keep buying myself like candles and flowers and stuff.
Oh, that's quite sweet, really.
It's nice. It's just nice to keep it like a nice space. You know what I mean? So you can, because that's all you're in. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you touched quickly on your dad, and I saw on Instagram like you posted a few bits and stuff. So has he been quite a big influence for you? Because I know sometimes like like throwing yourself into the music and that. Some parents may be more like, you know, you want to get a proper job or do whatever. So have they been really supportive of you?
Yeah, dead supportive. Yeah, like from day one, really. I think that's just helped so much because I don't think I would have done it otherwise. Like for the first release, he was like, release it. And I was like, oh, I'm too shy.
too shy.
No. Like, no, like do it. And I was like, all right, okay. And then, yeah, I think I'm lucky in that way because a lot of my friends and stuff, like their parents have been like, you get a proper job.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But no, they're really supportive. And I think they're quite like, they've got like their own business and stuff. So they're quite like against like the whole like working for someone else kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
they're cool in that way. Like, you know, they don't like the boring routines of like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday kind of vibe. So yeah, I think they push it, and that's really nice.
Yeah, for sure. I think it gives you a lot of freedom, doesn't it? But I was just half picturing them sending you to like the cathedral choir and you playing the piano and it's all nice, and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm going on tour and, you know, playing these rock songs around Manchester and wherever, and they're a bit like, oh, okay. But I see their support.
No, my dad loves it. He's like dead into his music. So so he's a big fan. Yeah, he's a legend. And all their music as well, I think, has influenced me quite a lot. Like they've got a big like vinyl collection back at home and stuff. So I was like finding all these bands, and then I was like, oh, have you heard of this band? And my dad was like, yeah, I've got a vinyl.
Yeah, I saw him in '91 at this place. You're like, oh, right.
Yeah, literally. So I keep, you know, discovering these new bands and finding out that he's got like all of the vinyls. Yeah, so yeah, it's really cool in that way. Yeah.
Do you find you have like these main influences towards your music? Because a lot of people like drag a lot from like maybe Bowie or like I know a lot of people drag a lot from the Sex Pistols in the punk industry and that. Like, what is it for you? Do you have anything that's like that? Yeah,
I think bands like the Cure and stuff. That's when I kind of thought, I remember watching a live video of them on YouTube, and I was just like, oh, it's just like huge, isn't it? Like they're you know, the synths and the guitars and stuff, and it's just like fun and makes you want to dance. And I think they were quite a big influence for me. And then I don't know, I think my influences changes all the time, really. They change all the time. So, but I'd say they were pretty big influence. And then Mazzy Star as well. My dad introduced me to her, and I was like, oh, she's got such a nice like soulful voice, and you know, she kind of matches that like with a kind of sad music. And yeah, I guess bands like 80s/90s kind of bands.
Well, that was the era for this indie alternative rock and roll scene. Like, we haven't really, apart from, you know, obviously there was a few in early 2000s, but recently it's kind of like a bit of a dying art, and it's now seeing this resurgence as of now. Do you have any like bands that are around at the minute that are really giving you some influence for the music that you're playing?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I go, yeah, again, like massive favorite phases, but I think like Claro's new album, that's so sick. Like it's just so like kind of personal, and what's the word? I feel like I've forgotten how to talk today.
Oh, we do that every time, don't worry.
Yeah, it's like it's very like intimate album, and it's still, I feel like everyone's gone back to kind of DIY music instead of like overproduced music, and that's really nice because everything seems like, you know, more accessible and personal and intimate. That album, I like literally is my favorite album. Like I can't stop listening to that. Artists like Phoebe Bridgers, like into her at the moment. Like, she's sick. Yeah, there's loads really. It kind of changes all the time.
Yeah. Are you into like your punk music then? Because obviously the Cure are very like rough on the edge, weren't they? But like, are you into that sort of like punkier side of it?
Yeah, I'd be into that. Yeah.
Would you? Have you ever heard of a band called Panic Shack?
No.
Right, so I've got a couple of good ones. Panic Shack and the Red Stains.
Okay, I'll listen.
If you like it, if you like punk music, they're two that you've got to listen to at the minute. They are unbelievable.
You'd think he was on commission for them, the amount of times. Anyway, that's officially everyone he's spoken to in the last 6 months that knows. So, but yeah, they are sick,
no, I'll give them a go. I think as well, like like Radiohead at the moment. I don't know, I'm going through such a massive Radiohead phase.
Nice.
I just love them. Like, I'd really want to see them live.
They're a good one, I think, because they sort of change so much for albums. You can sort of go through different phases in different albums. Like,
exactly.
Like an early Radiohead phase compared to a later phase, it's like a whole different thing, isn't it?
Just all different, yeah. Like, I don't know, like what have I been listening to? No Surprises. Oh, so sad. No Surprises and like Weird Fishes and those kind of tunes as well. I think, yeah, they're a really good band.
So with your songwriting, do you tend to get a lot of do you get like inspiration for lyrics down and you sort of go that route and then think about the music, or is it vice versa?
I think it depends on the song, really. Like sometimes I'll think of like a line, like a lyric, and then write a song over that, or a title. Usually when I'm writing with someone else, we think of like a title first, and then we kind of go from there. If I'm on my own, I'll just be like fiddling on my guitar and like think of like a guitar riff or like a chord sequence, and then build like a melody and lyrics from there. Like it kind of changes every time, really. I've not got like a set, pattern that I do, really.
Yeah, definitely. So with lyrics, do you take a lot from like your experiences and what's around you?
Yeah. I don't think I can really write songs that aren't really about anything in particular. So I think, with lyrics, I try to keep them as, but I don't know, they just naturally are quite personal, really. I think especially when you're writing by yourself as well, they're like a bit more personal rather than songs that you write with someone else, because you're like, oh my God, this person's going to think. I think, I'll always write songs from like experiences that I've had and stuff like that. And I think you kind of grow to love them more when they're more personal to you. And then hopefully like other people can relate to them as well. Comfort them in the knowledge that they feel the same way or whatever.
Yeah. Do you find it like almost like a form of therapy? Because we were talking to the Roy from the Shed Project. I don't know if you heard of the Shed Project, but they're like Stone Rosesy type vibe of like 90s rock and roll. And he was saying like he didn't start writing music. He's mid-40s, isn't he, Joe, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. 46 or something, I think he said.
Yeah. And he was saying like it's only been the last few years that he started kind of writing music and finding it of a therapy of stuff that he's experienced over the last 40 years of his life. Do you find it kind of helps you with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think when I'm like in a good frame of mind and everything's like, rosy, then it's actually so difficult to write music. And whenever like, something's shit or like something doesn't go your way, it's like, right, just write a song. And in that way, it is super helpful. I think when I was like going through like a lot of changes when I was 17, 18, like I'd had my first like breakup and it was all very emotional. That's when I started writing the most, really, because you've got all these like feelings and like you feel proper emo. You've got nothing to do with it, so I think writing songs then was like a bit of a lifesaver. And I think without going through all that, I think I probably wouldn't have have written the songs that I had have done and got into music so much. So yeah, it's defo a good form of therapy.
Do you get a lot of people like contacting you saying that your songs have helped? Because I get the sense that like the type of stuff you write about would like people do relate to it and probably does help them a lot.
Yeah, like young girls. I've had a few like girls message me like, oh, the songs help me, get through this and this. Yeah. On like Instagram and stuff. So that's like the nicest feeling in the world, because I'm like, oh, like,
it puts faces to, as you say, to streams, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, like that's what, I'm not just gonna write music and for people not be able to like relate to it and use it as their form of therapy. So in that way it's really nice. Like that's the nicest feeling, I think, if someone's like, yeah, this has helped me, and do my job.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to use that as a good segue because you've mentioned Instagram.
Yeah.
And we've come up with a little bit of a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a good time in hell, do you reckon I'll dive into it?
Yeah, mate. Crack on.
Beautiful,
Crack on.
okay.
This is Joe's taking over the game section for tonight. I normally have a little section, but because we didn't know you'd got like a full-on band behind you that are still the same people,
Yeah.
we're kind of changing up the game a little bit. Kind of for the people that are listening, like we're switching it from the scenario questions for this episode, and Joe's testing the waters with a new little game show.
Yeah. Well, because I was thinking, Elliot normally does some scenario questions and then you get to pick members of the band. They say, because we weren't sure about the band, I thought if we have a different one. And as I said, we were stalking you.
Yeah.
Went back for your Instagram and like the fact that it's basically the same and you've had it since like 2014. So it's like your personal Instagram and then you see it slowly change to like what it is now. So I've come up with a little game, like an Insta caption game. So I've got 3 of your real Instagram captions and then 3 that I've slightly changed. And I want to see if you can tell me which ones are real and which ones are fake.
Oh my God.
Okay. So it might be really easy, but we'll see how we go. So the first one I've got is cat piss and the throttle women.
That's real, yeah.
That is real, and it did really make me laugh. To be fair.
Can we get like there's a little add-on to these, the real ones? I want to get a bit of context because
that is funny.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know. I went to go see Cabbage and the Busselmen. I loved them back in the day. I was like, they were just kind of today just kind of came to me as a caption.
It did really make me laugh, and I was like, it sort of works, but it shouldn't. But
they need to change their band name. Fuck's sake.
Okay, next one. It's Friday, dudes. Let's celebrate with a custard cream.
Yes, that's
real.
Real, yeah.
That is unfortunately fake.
Is it? No.
It's real, but it wasn't a custard cream. It was a malted milk, I think is what they called it. Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
So sort of close, but not quite real.
Easily mistaken.
Well, I don't know, though.
I'd rather have a custard cream than a malted milk, though.
What does the cream look like again? Is it not got the...
It's like malted milk, but it's got cream in the middle. Like 2 malted milks with cream in between.
They almost look like I got like the Scottish flag on. They normally got a cross on.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah.
But that's all right. That's one right, one wrong. Okay, then I've got £3.50 for pesto pasta, Doritos, and an iced tea. Tesco coming through.
Yeah, that's real.
It's got to be real, surely.
It is real, but it wasn't an iced tea.
It wasn't an iced tea. What was it? Was it a...
I'll give you the point if you can get
it.
Coffee. Iced coffee.
Coffee.
It was close, to be fair, so I'll let you off that one.
Cool, you're making these hard, Joe.
Yeah, well, I wanted to. Okay, next one we've got bitches be surfing. Bitches spelt with a Z.
Yeah, that's real.
That is real.
This is going deep in.
It was good. I did say we stalked. To be fair,
no, Joe stalked. I stalked a bit, but when I was going down to 2014, I was like, scroll back.
Okay, I've got 2 more. Something new with my sexy band soon.
Yeah. No.
Completely made up.
No. That sounds like one of my captions, to be fair.
Yeah. I sort of, quite genius. Sort of took on your personality and then wrote that in. So
Joe the chameleon. Yeah.
It's a real talent. Okay, and then the last one. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Bitches and uncream with just an N, and bitches are spelt with an E.
Bitches and cream.
Bitches
that's real. I can't remember what photo that was from. I feel like that's real. Is it?
That is real.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a solid performance, to be fair.
I love the word bitches, don't I?
Bitches. There was quite a lot of bitches. Yeah. I did sort of get that vibe.
I probably need to actually go through and delete my old personal Instagram. It's like, is it?
No. I think it's quite funny. I was like, literally, I was like going back and it'd be like, I've got this song coming out soon. We're playing here, and then kept going. Then it'd be like, I'm in Cornwall with my family, and I was like, oh, it's just sort of changed, and I was like, I quite like this. It's like personal into the music now. But
yeah, I think when I started, I was like, oh, shall I create a new Instagram and have that as like the music one and have a personal one? And I was like, no, because like,
fuck it.
If you've already got like the followers, you may as well just crack on.
Yeah, use them. I like that section, Joe. That was good.
Yeah, all right. I like the scenarios. It's a shame to miss them, but unless you've got one off the top of your head,
I can make a couple up. I think maybe right off the cuff scenario freestyle. So you've got the band to pick from.
Yeah.
For what you do in this scenario. So like to help you out with the scenario, who would you choose?
Okay.
Essentially, or who it's most likely to be.
Okay.
Right. So I've asked some of these in the past, but I'm going to run them off to see what your responses are. You've been awoken in the middle of the night. There is some rustling from your back garden. You're a bit creeped out, so you go over, you twitch the curtains, you have a look outside. There is a hooded figure burying something in your garden. Which one of the band is it most likely going to be?
Luke Shenton.
Why?
Because he's so quiet, and it's just something.
It's always the quiet ones.
He's drummer. He's like literally like the loveliest person in the world, but sometimes he just like he doesn't speak for like a whole day, and then he'll just come out with like something like dead funny. Like I don't know, and I feel like that's something that I wouldn't be surprised I'd catch him doing. He's a mysterious character.
I like that. I always find it so funny when it's the question takes so long, you get the context, and the answer's like, yeah, I know that's it is no problem with that.
Yeah, that's what I hope you listen to this.
Right. I've got another one. Yeah. You've been cornered by the mob. You're doing a tour in LA or New York or wherever mobs hang out. You've been cornered by them. They've taken you as hostage, and to be able to get free, they're going to send you a delivery of 50 kilos of coke.
So much.
Who are you going to help shift the coke?
Jack Johnson. His name. Jack probably. I don't know. He's sneaky. I reckon that he could be quite sneaky.
Beautiful.
Right, and last one I've got. You have took a cruise chip.
A cruise chip.
Yeah, a cruise chip. Good English, Elliot.
Nice.
Brilliant work. Yeah, we're so far through a podcast. Why we're in it now? You have you've been booked on a cruise ship for like you're playing a cruise ship the whole time they're going round. Strange booking, but you've taken it. The cruise ship has sunk, and you and the band have been washed up on the shore of a desert island. All that has made it is a record player, someone's record collection, and some tools. And how many people are in your band?
3 plus
3. Yeah. 3 plus you, so it's 4 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, team. That was good. I'm glad it took 2 of you to come to that final number. Well done.
So you have to have someone who's in control of the music, and it's their vinyl collection.
Yeah.
Someone who goes and forages for the wood and starts a fire. Someone who builds the shelter, and someone that is there overwatching and trying to get someone to come and save you. Who's going to take each role?
I reckon Jack would be good at building the shelter. What was the second one?
The
music.
Yeah, someone's in charge of music.
Luke in charge of music because he likes funky beats.
Beautiful.
He's got a very eclectic music taste, so I don't think it would get boring.
Like, cool.
He's into like loads of different bands. And then
nice.
Ross, the bassist, take him watch because he fits fire alarms for a living. So
he must be able to build a fire.
So he must, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's into fire. So I think that if he's building the fire, then yeah.
Unless because it's fire alarms, you might naturally try and put out fire.
Yeah, is that exactly.
So he's supervising, making sure nothing goes tits up and trying to get some form of help, and you're starting the fire.
Oh yeah, I forgot about me. Yeah.
You're the fire starter.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got like a fire at home, right? And I was home alone one night, and it was dead cold, and I actually managed to make my own fire, and I was dead proud of myself.
Well, there you go.
That fully qualifies you.
Yeah, like you have to start building. Like you start with the fire lighters, go in with the kindling,
you do.
put the lamps on the top.
Get your nice wigwam going.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like defo, I'll start the fire. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, there you go. There is some off the dome scenario questions.
Beautiful.
Well, brilliant. Well, we've come to kind of like the end of our sections. We have one little bit left that we normally do on these episodes, and we go round the group call as we are, me, Joe, and yourself, and we're going to all kind of like shout out a band or a couple of bands that are up and coming in the scene at the minute that you're loving and wanting to kind of push forward a bit.
Cool.
So, Joe, do you want to take the reins?
I'll take so. I wanted to speak about one that I feel like we're always going to speak about at some point. I'm not sure how far away it's going to be from when it released, but the band's new release, that 90s song, I feel like we have to give it a proper shout out. We've been sharing it a lot on our page. They're a band we've been supporting for ages that literally just have had a demo out and that was it. And they've just released their first sort of proper single that's not a demo that they've really thought about and perfected. And it's called That 90s Song, but we were speaking to them and it's got heavy 80s and thousands influences rather than 90s. But
yeah, I'm not sure where the 90s come. It's got like a ska bass and a ska vocals over the top of like early 2000s rock and roll. It's like...
But
it's good though.
It's a sick track. It's really good. And their demo was very like classic indie rock and it was really good. Yeah. But they've really experimented a few different bits. And I know how worried they've been about perfecting it. And I think they have. Sounds really well produced. They've done a few live videos to go with it and stuff, which is sick. So yeah, That 90s Song by Bud the Band is really sick.
I'll check that out.
Beautiful.
Cool. Abbie, who have you been listening to? Anyone exciting?
Yeah, I think I'd probably say I met her in London one time at this shoot. She's called Matilda Mann. I'm really enjoying her music at the moment. She's got such like a soulful voice, like it's so effortless. And she's just a lovely girl.
Cool.
Yeah, her new EP is really good as well. I think it's called Paper Mache World. So yeah, check that out.
Nice.
Yeah, I love like those voices at the moment that they just like take their effort and it just sounds like they're dead close to the mic and it's just kind of like ASMR.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, for her. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to give Lauren Hibbard a shout out quick just because I put her in the playlist this week and I've only recently found her and stumbled across her and fucking hell, she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Outrageous. The tracks are so mad. That Boy Bye track is like mental.
Yeah, it's such a good
track. Such a good track. And then the other one is one from the States, and he's a little bit bigger than what we normally kind of go for, but it's something that I've found recently. And it's like a bit like, Youngblood and what Machine Gun Kelly is releasing nowadays. That almost like it's almost pop punk, like American pop punk, but with a bit of like hip hop influence to it.
Yeah.
In some respects. And it's very much like that. His newest single is White Line. It's Contra Dash. I played him on the radio show this week. It won't have been this week when this comes out.
It would have been ages ago when this comes out. But
about 7 weeks ago. I played him on the radio show ages ago. And he's got some really good feedback from some of the people at the station. And it's like this rock and roll, almost Little Peep sort of vibe to it. And that's really, really sick. And he's Contra Dash White Lie is his most recent single. And it's the belter.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I love Lil Peep.
Oh, Lil Peep. I'll tell you what, when he died, I was like, because I listened to that album and then he died and then the part 2 came out, the something when you're sober. The whatever the album's called.
I know which one you mean. It's got like a pink thing on it.
Yeah. And he's like laying on the bed. Yeah. So that one, and then I listened to that fucking religiously. Then he died, and then I can't quite bring myself still to listen to the second one, like the part 2. It's the same as Mac Miller for me.
Yeah,
I struggle to listen to his most recent album because he was such a massive, like almost influence of mine with like creativity, because he was fucking brilliant. And he like died, and I was like, shit. And I still can't listen to the most recent album because it's still so raw.
Those 2 hours is like, oh my God, like what an absolute tragedy. Like, it's. Have you listened to Star Shopping by Lil Peep? That's such a tune.
Yeah, I'd say Lil Peep is something that is. It was a new genre, and it's kind of like he kind of started this pop punk, hip hop, emo, fucking crossbreed. It was unbelievable. Yeah. It was so good, and I kind of found myself listening to it and like singing all the words to it. But then when you actually start thinking about the words you're singing, you're like, ooh,
it's harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, this has got a much deeper meaning than just like enjoying yourself singing along with the windows down, isn't it?
Xannies and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy though. The whole like Xanax shit and like that both Mac Miller and Lil Peep both overdosing on like laced stuff is fucking awful.
It's like, I don't think it's like that big in England, is it? Like, I think it's definitely an American.
Yeah, I know some people that take Xanny, like it's but like not as much as like anything else. I feel like Xanax is one of them drugs that's like, it's not, because I think it's because it's not prescribed here, I don't think, as freely as it is over there. I feel like everyone's on fucking Xanax in America.
Yeah. It's like a brand.
Yeah, literally.
And Xanax, like it's a bit of a brand, isn't it?
Yeah. Literally.
Probably
it's a weird
brand.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a brand that I'll be jumping on anytime.
Dawson.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be jumping on the Xanax and face tattoos anytime soon. I don't think it'll go. I'm not sure it'd suit me. I'm not sure it'd suit. But Joe, maybe. Joe would suit it.
I don't think so.
Good.
Give us another few pints, so we'll probably be more into it than we are now, to be fair.
Imagine if Joe's pulled up, we did like a part 2 of this interview, and Joe's got like these crosses under his eyes and like another eye on his forehead or some shit.
I'll definitely have to get like the, you know, the ones you used to do as kids where you put on your arm with like water, and then they used to like, they're like temporary ones.
The ones that used to come in the Spider-Man cigarettes.
Yeah. They're like, there was like chalk that you used to just eat for some reason. Spider-Man one. Yeah. And you'd get the little temporary tattoos. I'm going to get loads of them and just put them all over my face. Yeah. They were sick.
Yeah.
They were good. They're definitely one of the reasons that I picked up smoking at one point. Like, for sure. There's got to be something in that.
They've definitely been banned now, haven't they?
Yeah, there's got to be something in that.
God knows what was in them. God, I forgot about
They just look like a little pack of darts as well. Like they just did look like cigarettes.
Yeah, that's wild.
Horrendous. Well, we've gone drastically off topic with the way that's gone. So we'll wrap up the podcast there. It has been very, very lovely having you on, Abbie. And do you have anything coming out anytime soon that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I don't know if. Yes.
This is going to come out like it's going to be quite a few weeks before this comes out, so you might.
Yeah. So I've got an EP coming out on the 12th of Feb.
Sick. Yeah. It'll be out by then.
Yeah. So it's got the songs that I've released like so far in 2020, and an extra song called Breakdowns, which is like a bit of a different vibe.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm excited. It's called Let's Play Pretend.
Beautiful.
Cool.
I don't think you need to be nervous about it from the stats we read out in 2020. I'm sure radio support and Spotify support, it'll be a very good one. So that'll be already out. So people definitely should check that out.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Make sure you go stream it. And thank you for coming, Abbie. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
very much. Anytime.
So if you've made it this far through the podcast, make sure you're liking and subscribing on YouTube. On Spotify. Good job, Elliot, for getting the outro.
Follow on Spotify, please. I follow us on Spotify doing all right, so please follow on Spotify.
Yes.
That seems to be a place people are gathering. So
also, there's a new feature on Spotify. Whoa. Yeah, there's a fucking bell. So go into it, subscribe.
Ding dong that bell.
Yeah, ring the bell. Yeah, make sure you get on that, give it a bell, ring it, whatever, and just keep listening, keep streaming. And we'll see you all on the other side. Peace.